So what would you say are the elements that are going to look like the classic Michigan football that everybody knows and loves, and what might be different on your side of the ball?
No, we're excited. We just feel like our skills older. Feel like we've created some competition in our rooms, and the kids, we had a really good spring. We stayed healthy, and the boys are ready to get back to work.
Culture-wise, mentality-wise, is it like picking up from the last 3 games last year? Do you feel like that kind of helped you guys get right back into it in January?
Yeah, absolutely. The kids, as soon as the season ended, as soon as the bowl game ended, they took some time off, got right back to work, and Coach Stress and his guys and strength staff did a phenomenal job with the boys, and we had a really good spring, and like where we're at, and obviously we got to attack the summer phase of what we're doing.
You mentioned Donovan earlier as someone who could be that next photo on the wall of a Michigan legend. How have you seen him progress?
Yeah, he's had a really good spring, and he's getting himself adjusted with everything and the system, and his new teammates, and he's an older guy, experienced guy. Unbelievable person, and I think his leadership and his presence alone is going to help our room grow. And you got some of the guys, Fred and Samaj being older guys now, Peyton O'Leary, and then you had the young guys, Andrew Marsh and Jamar Browder. Those guys made some big leaps this spring as well.
Is he going to wear number 1, Donovan?
I'm not sure yet. I some talks about it. I haven't seen the guys, in a few weeks, so I'm sure I'll find out pretty soon.
So he posted a photo of it.
Yeah, I heard about that. But I haven't seen him though.
Sure.
He obviously didn't play a ton last year. He's a former quarterback. When you guys are looking at him evaluating him, what did you like? What did you see just talent-wise as a receiver?
You look at we actually played against him in the 21-22 as a quarterback. He was their starting quarterback when Penix and Tuttle were down. And we got a chance, and coincidentally, I was on defense. So I got a chance to see him from an athletic standpoint. And then the 23 season, I believe, is when he had a really big season there. And, didn't play much last year, was injured, and, decided to graduate. And, it's been a great thing for us.
As the wide receiver coach, what's the most exciting part about someone like Chip Lindsey who likes to do the things that he does?
Yeah, just, you'll have more explosives. It's a guy that he's balanced. I think everyone has his mindset like Chip wants to. You go watch the film last year and see that Chip ran the ball with Amari Hampton, and obviously having Drake made a year before. But you follow Chip's career, he's a balanced guy, but he's going to take some shots down the field, and we're super excited about that. And it's just a different, just a little different brand of football. But it's we're Michigan. We're still going to be, we're still going to run the football, and we're going to throw the football. We're going to be balanced, and we're going to play complementary ball.
What's the significance of June for you guys as a staff? You're already in it right now, but what do you want to get out?
Yeah, camp day, right? June 1st, first day we get out on the road to camp, and official visits, and we had a good first week, and now we have our own camp tomorrow. So we just boots on the ground. We working nonstop every day in the week, and just keep attacking everything.
What's the significance of recruiting Detroit? Obviously, it's in the state.
I'm sorry.
What's the significance of recruiting the city of Detroit?
Man, you look at the NFL draft every year. Just look at the number of guys from Metro Detroit or the state of Michigan that's getting drafted. Guys that's making NFL teams, and we take pride in our state. We love our state. First and foremost, we're going to attack Michigan. That's why we're here. We're here to see our homegrown talent, and just try to love these kids, recruit them, and let them know that Michigan loves them.
What do you like about Anthony Simpson in the portal?
Explosive, and was obviously he's an older guy too. We want to get some experienced guys that had experience playing football, and we took 2 older guys in the portal this the winter cycle.
Are you still expecting? Is Mikey? Do you think he's still going to be cleared this month and start throwing, or what's that progression looking like?
Yeah, I can't comment on that because I have no idea.
Okay.
Like I said, we've been gone, so I haven't seen the guys.
Every year's its own year, but can last year be motivating for the guys that are coming back to, hey, we don't, like Jordan Marshall talked about after the bowl game, we're not going to be in this bowl again. Like, can that be a motivation? Have you seen that play out?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We know that that's not the standards that we want to have. We every year for us, We want to win Big Ten championships. We want to compete for national championships, and we understand what the formula is. Coach Moore's done a phenomenal job of making sure that he's challenging not only the players but the coaches as well. And the buy-in is there. The buy-in is there from everybody.
As a receivers coach, I'm sure you saw a lot of Bryce this spring. Where do you see his biggest growth from the beginning of the spring?
He's smart, man. The way Bryce attacks football, man. He's the first one, last one. He's a guy that he's a sponge. I always want to learn. Hanging around the receivers. Great leader for a 17-year-old kid. Unbelievable leader. We all know about the physical attributes, but I think he's on the right track. He's definitely on the right track.
Speaking of in-state recruiting, do you think it helps him that he's from here? That maybe Michigan means a little more to him as being in that position in his home. He's 20 minutes away.
Yeah, absolutely. You take more pride in it. Take more pride in it, and local guys see that, and you want a guy that of his caliber. You want to follow him. He has a huge following here in the state, and I'm sure it's going to help, in the recruiting trail for us.
Yeah, have you seen any carryover with the 26 class in terms of just the momentum, the way you guys finished with the 25 class?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, from receiver standpoint, they know who came in the 25 class. So obviously, use that to your advantage, and that's why we're in the ballpark with some of the top guys.
How much do you hear from prospects at the receiver position that they want to see Bryce Underwood or more passing right offense?
Yeah, you get that. They even, just in general, guys always want to see what the room looks like, what's the depth of the room, and different things of that nature.
Who does Bryce remind you of?
I don't know. He's unique. Big kid, strong arm, accurate, super cerebral, super smart kid. I don't know. We've had a lot of great quarterbacks at Michigan. I don't think it's fair to Bryce to say who's comparable to him now, because he hasn't taken a snap yet. But obviously there's a lot of great things that he's done thus far. In the short term, you can see it. You definitely see it. And like I say, I'm most impressed with his leadership and the way he comes out there ready to go every day. For a young kid, that's pretty unprecedented.
I was asking, how rare is that for the maturity level for a 17-year-old kid?
Yeah, super. He doesn't get rattled. He's always working, and you love that as a coach because he's the quarterback usually leads the team and guys follow. You can see that following now with some of the guys, not just guys in his class, but some of the older guys too that Bryce has done a good job with.
And now he's the first freshman ever on the cover of the video game. So he's a 98 overall, hasn't taken a snap, but like you say, it sounds like he's still the same Bryce that came in, and that stuff isn't really getting to his head.
No, it's always big smile, great personality. I haven't seen the difference. Yeah, just a humble young man, awesome kid. Like I said, just that infectious smile.
Did you know Samaj a couple of weeks ago? He had said that there's a lot more to his game than jet sweeps and bubble screens. He says he's more of a round-running tactician. What have you seen from him? How much do you feel like he can do more than what he was?
Yeah, he's you guys have seen Samaj. He's an explosive athlete. Older, understanding the game is slowing down for him, and he's just doing a lot of great things. Samaj had a really good spring, and he guys keep chasing. Just keep chasing that greatness.
He said that he's been working with trainers to try to be more explosive. Have you seen that from him this spring?
Yeah, he had a really good spring. And I'm excited to kind of see where summer goes for him, and then obviously we'll go to camp in August. But yeah, Samaj, he's stronger, more explosive. I'm excited for him.
Have you seen Macaulay, has he helped Bryce? An experienced receiver, big body guy. Was he able to help him a little bit?
Yeah, you like big receivers because, the quarterbacks, you want the quarterbacks accurate, but, there could be less accuracy, if that makes sense, guys have a bigger catch radius. Macaulay's that he's 6'5", he plays 6'5". It's been good. He's been a great addition to our team, more so our receiver room.
But has he helped him mentally, the mental, because he's a veteran, he's been around for a while now?
He does. The way he sees things, top of the routes or different, catch points and different things like that. Yeah. We don't, not just with Bryce, but all our quarterbacks, receivers and quarterbacks, we have that daily dialogue.
you have two returning captains on the team, Rod and Max. I mean, how helpful is that, I guess, for a group that is somewhat young in some positions?
It's great leaders, you know. And then you have guys like Ernest Hausman and TJ Guy. You know, we got guys that's been around. You know, although you got some guys that their first time here, they bought in very quickly. You know, guys, Rayshon Benny, you know, the experience you have on the D-line, and for us adding a McCulley and, you know, some of the pieces you put on the O-line. And I'll tell you what, Justice Hayes, love him. You know, guy, great leader. He's a great leader, and he's earned the respect of the guys. You know, and I think, you know, Sharon said the same thing. He likes where we are, you know, in regards to that, like where the team is. We all pull in the same direction, and kids, we love each other.
Is Jordan Hansen a type of guy that you would love to kind of see to bring over to the wide receiver?
No, I love Hogan. Hogan's gonna be a really good football player. I'm sure Coach Kasula ain't gonna let that happen.
As someone who is like a pass catching tight end, what do you see from him?
Yeah, man. You know, the great thing for him is he got a chance to play with Colston Loveland for a year, right? And obviously, you guys have seen the talent, and you know, you've seen him. You know, you get drafted 10th overall. That's huge for a young tight end. You know, Hogan has an unbelievable skill set, right? Big tight end, can run routes, catch the ball, track the ball. You know, I'm excited to see his growth. You know, Coach Kasula does a great job with those guys, and you know, Hogan is one of those guys that we're counting on this fall.
You have to root for the Bears now or not? Just Colston.
Let's go Lions, baby. We're in Michigan. No, we still root for Colston, but we root for our Lions. They got to win the North.
I agree.
How aligned are you with Chip Lindsey and what he preaches?
I love it. We see it the same way. Great relationship, smart guy, understands what Michigan football is, understand what the program's built on, respects it. Chip's going to do a phenomenal job. Just he's been around a long time. Super smart guy, and kids love him.
How different will it look from last year?
We shall see. Angelique tried to set me up with that one.
Dave said to stay away.